after about 13 hours of driving. We camped at the border last night of New Mexico and Colorado. We're here in Colorado on our first hike.
Yeah, so we're going to Ice Lake Basin, which is like 8.5 miles round trip. And there's been a lot of rain, so there's a lot of waterfall.
A little muddy.
Some creek crossings.
This looks pretty sweet, check it out.
Coming up on the first one now. We made it.
And it is gorgeous.
Yeah, spectacular views. The water is like crystal clear and there's like all these huge peaks and snow everywhere. I'm gonna see if I can convince Rebecca to take a dip.
No way I'm getting in that water. It's gonna be freezing. But it is so blue and so beautiful, clear, against the greenery. It's gorgeous.
We came over to Silverton, the nearby town. They have a free disc golf course, so this has been great so far. You can see the views down that way, but I'm going to try and throw decently through this ski place here.
Oh, clipped the tree, but he made it. Pretty decent.
We got our great spot here camping for the night, maybe the next 2 nights, but there's really no one else around. And this is all free camping too, which is way better than any of the camping we ever find. Plus, it's right along the river, which is super nice too. We're having a little picnic.
We got our chips, we got our salsa, we have our drinks, and this view.
It's better than it looks. We kind of look like a wall, but it's nice to be by the river. Today we're hiking Columbine Lake Trail, which is pretty similar to what we did yesterday. A little longer and a little more steep. It's been a challenge already. We think it starts with 16 switchbacks, but we're not sure exactly how to count those.
And now we're in this huge valley, whatever it's called. I'm pretty sure we have to go up there.
Somewhere over here. We're getting there though. Good progress.
Yeah. Okay, we made it up to Columbine Lake, and it is gorgeous. And we are the only ones here. There's one other family on the trail when we first started, and we passed them. And so now we have this place to ourselves, and it is, I mean, like breathtaking.
Would have been very easy to just kind of stay there all day. As you saw, it's pretty beautiful, but supposedly some storms are coming in, and it's anywhere between 10 and 11. It's like 9:15 right now, so we're gonna try and definitely be below the tree line, but hopefully back to the car and on our way out before those get in. So luckily, it's mostly downhill from here. We spent the night in Gunnison outside at this rock climbing area, and it poured all night. So we skipped dinner, but now we have our full breakfast set up so you can see our full camp. And the best part is we brought this little Italian coffee maker here, but it didn't quite fit between the grates, but we found some stakes. So we're gonna see if that's gonna work for us. Hopefully it makes some coffee, because we were really excited about the idea of bringing this little one-pot coffee maker.
All right, so we are on our first day of backpacking. We're gonna be camping somewhere along a trail tonight. And we got all of our gear on our backs.
Yeah, so it's like a 13-mile trail along the Continental Divide Trail and the Colorado Trail. So a lot of thru hikers do this normally. I don't know what time of year they typically do it. Also don't know if you can hear me with the waterfalls here. But we're gonna just do one day overnight, so it's not a ton of hiking, but we're looking forward to it because we don't get to do a ton of backpacking normally. So, pretty excited. Entering the Mount Massive Wilderness, which looks the exact same as the rest of the wilderness, but Mount Massive is one of the 14ers in the area. And apparently there's like a dozen or so around here, which is kind of cool. So there's a lot of big picks. We're definitely not summiting it. Today's supposed to be an easy 6-7 miles. Same thing tomorrow, so then we can rest up for the big one on Thursday. So making good pace so far. Today we are hiking Mount Elbert, which is the second highest peak in the lower 48 states. We started this morning about 4:30.
It was about 37 degrees this morning, but we are sweating like crazy. Dog.
Yeah, dog, there's people camping. Oh, and it was dark, but we're probably a couple miles in now with a long ways to go. Top of our first 14er.
I just had the realization that that was my first time summiting a mountain, and it was a 14er. What?
I was just telling Rebecca that that was probably the highest she'll ever be in her life. She didn't really like that. For some reason, she felt like she peaked in life. And I said, if your graph was lifespan and elevation, then sure. But other than that, I wouldn't necessarily call it the peak.
I feel like he's limiting me and peaking off my life. Like I might as well die.
Anyways, we just finished the summit. We're back below the tree line. So finally the wind has died because the wind was just nuts. I don't think you could hear anything we were saying. if you could get through the wind at all, but it was crazy. We'll have to look up how fast it is because we have no idea how to judge it, but first reactions are it was like constant between
It was insane.
40 and 60 miles per hour, like constantly.
Just parading you over and over, non-stop, crazy.
I'll see if I can look it up. Either way, glad we made it. All right, we are back on the trail, hiking to Cathedral Lake tonight, which is just a couple miles away, and then camping there before we go to Electric Pass.
This is our last overnight section of the trip where we'll be on trail, and we'll start making the drive back to Texas.
Yeah, so far it's really nice here. It's a lot different. We're outside of Aspen, and coincidentally, there are tons of aspen, so it's a lot different layout than it is when we've been hiking, which makes for a nice change. So
this time we finally got the jet boil working because we brought a lighter, but we did forget utensils. I'm using this little stick here as my stir stick and my little spoon so I can eat my kind of soupy pasta. It's not very good, but it is food, so that's fine.
And I brought ramen, and I hate hot things. And this pot is bigger than any of our plates, so they're just gonna have to wait for everything to cool down and then somehow get the ramen into my mouth.
Whoops.
In a bit of a rush when we left, not really for any reason. I think we just weren't thinking clearly, so helps us remember for next time though.
Yeah. We made it to the top of Electric Pass and the views are gorgeous. There's so many layers of mountains behind us. You have so many different colors. And if you turn around, you can see the lake that we were at yesterday, way down there. And then we're camping somewhere kind of down in those trees. We made it back to Texas. We stayed last night just outside of Palo Duro Canyon State Park, and that is where we're hiking this morning. So we're taking the Lighthouse Trail. It's supposed to have some nice views. You can see the canyon behind me. They say this is the second largest canyon in the United States behind the Grand Canyon. So we're pretty excited to explore. We've never actually been here before. So let's do it.
Made it to the top. It was actually an amazing view, and there was a little bit of an elevation push at the end, but perfect timing just as the sun came out. Rebecca's like a bear.
I just want my Snickers.
I can't get it.
I can't.